Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. We are stepping back into Kentucky Route Zero. Last we left off, God, I don't even know how to explain this game. It's just like a journey through the magic of Kentucky highways and like reality bending highways. I don't know. It's definitely a bit of a weird one. Oh, am I playing person arising from sleep, or what is this? Where am? Oh, I'm in a theater. Or Lem Doolittle's original script for A Reckoning has almost no explicit stage directions. The author's essays and letters, we know Doolittle thought of the writer as an equal partner with the actors. The actors should have equal authority to write by acting into what Doolittle called the living script. Given the lack of stage directions, and our own interest as a company in foregrounding the physicality of theater, we made the bold decision to borrow the stage directions from his rarely performed pantomime A Barfly and fold them into the action of A Reckoning. We've always thought of these two pieces as related, so it's been a very natural gesture to perform them simultaneously and on the same stage. James B. Carrington. Act 1 sound cues. Too goddamn hot. It's cool in here. Yep. Like Babylon outside. Goddamn, you are right. Well, cool in here. It's an oasis. I wonder how Ted's holding up. AC. Down there, they all have it. Sure, you're right. I've never been to Texas. Oh, sure. They all have ACs. Too cold, almost. In July, even. He's got a hotel. Oh, weird. It's like they are actually... Sound 1, distant highway. Sound 2, drone number 1. Sound 3, glasses clinking. Sound 4, car passing by. Can't really see anything. We have the right to lie, said dramatist Antonin Artaud, but not about the heart of the matter. Obscure playwright Lem Doolittle seems to have made this project of his distinction in his play A Reckoning. Originally written shortly before his mysterious disappearance. This is such a strange thing. It's like there's several points where we could like focus, and they're all just happening all at the same time simultaneously, and I'm just struggling to figure out what to focus on. Wishing to show their knowledge of local cultural history. How unexpected then to encounter a production that treats the script so irreverently. Student Company has gone so far as to change the title of the play and even add a new character. Am I the new character? Just like a dude sitting on a chair? A silent, uncredited actor who pantomimes drunkenness with all the grace of a dog trying to escape from under a duvet. Still, the staging of the entertainment stays true to the heart of Doolittle's work. Perhaps that's all the students owe him. This is so strange. Lily Thurston, Adair County News. Am I a person? Oh god, it's giving me a little bit of vertigo. I don't even know where to... Can I, like, go to the exit? I have a feeling that, this is something that we kind of have to just, like, wait. Too much. I mean, what's to stop him, really? Meet some tall thing at a hotel bar? Nah, Ted's a good man. I know. He wouldn't run around. You're right. How about a beer? No beer today. Hard times, whiskey. That's all you've got? It's a good whiskey. Local. Yeah. You take deliveries from them? Sure. You ever see one of them? Boys from Hard Times? What? I heard they're strange. They work hard. Make a good whiskey. Who are we to judge? Sure. Who are we? No one of consequence. What's all this? Bread for? There's bread. Where's the bread? Sandwiches. Old ones went bad while you were on vacation? Have a good time while the sandwiches rotted. Feels like just non sequitur, like just constant non sequiturs. Like they go for like a couple lines on a certain topic and then one of them says something that gets them going into another topic. Maybe hire a hostess, you know? A hostess. At the lower depths. Ha, crazy. Nah, it's not so crazy. I was in a bar down there in New Orleans. They had a hostess, some dive. She seats you and, I don't know, points out the specials. You'd have specials every night in here. Drink specials? You make cocktails? Nah. Food specials. Monday night chicken. I don't know, grilled chicken. Caesar salad. Pass it up, you know? Bess would have liked it. Here's to Bess. Yeah. Yeah. Let me grab a... Here's to Bess. Good Christian woman. Good Christian woman. How about that saw in the corner? Not bothering nobody. Been here long? As soon as I opened. Oh, they're looking at me now. Got started a bit earlier, I suspected. On a bender, huh? Sleeping in a ditch or something? You don't think maybe Ted... Nah, Ted's a good man. Honest, well-liked. He's liked, but he's well-liked. Sales is a good fit. Selling hammers? Can you believe it? Somebody has to. The hammers, they don't sell themselves. Hear, hear. It's just hard. Ted on the road. Stuff all over. What to do all day? Come here, I guess. Sure. That's what I do. Cheap drinks. Conversation. And the entertainment. Oops. My mistake. Sure. What's tonight? Oh, tonight it's... Oh, Junebug. I'll stay for that. I need some music, get my mind off Ted. Something romantic, you know? A love song from when the world was young. What time? Around 8, maybe? Well, set him up slow. Or I'll sleep right through it. Is that it? Oh, these are the sandwiches with bricks on them. Put it back on that weird dinosaur show, will you? Nah, those history programs don't make any sense. I prefer the nature programs. They think they can just say anything on TV. I don't believe there to be damn word in the Bible about dinosaurs on the ark. It's been a long time since Sunday school for me. Do you go to church, though? Nah, not since Bess. It was her church, really. Good Christian woman. Good Christian woman. Well, I'm curious to see where they're going with it. They've got you now. I just think they're gonna run out of rope before long. Dinosaurs on the ark. I prefer the nature programs. Seems kind of like they're running in circles. Yeah. So your vacation was good? 7 days poolside. Thought you said it was a beach. Oh, sure. No, it was a pool. Was it a pool? Or a beach? Maybe? I don't remember. Weird. You think I'm making this up? Oh no, Hi, Harry. Are the old folks here? Yeah, just me and Evelyn. All morning. Hi, Evelyn. And that sot in the corner. You're early, Pearl. Your parents usually don't roll in until the evening, 5 or 6. Everything all right? Oh, sure, thanks. We just have some stuff to talk about. Well, post up here. Let's watch this weird dinosaur show. I'll stand you a drink. All Harry's pouring today is Hard Times whiskey. That all you got? They make good whiskey. Sure, but you know, the rumors. Rumors are rumors. Put it on my tab, Harry. You driving, Pearl? Oh, God, no. You know, they want almost 40 cents a gallon. I heard the early shift, so I just walked over. In this heat? You still working over there at Ace Jewelry and Loan? Joe Harden proudly trading shortcuts for dignity 6 days a week since 1962. At least they have the piety to shut down on Sunday. With Joe, it's more likely a hangover. Can it be both? Well, more trade than I do. Or you know more trade than I do. Must be slow over at the hardware store. Slow isn't the word. Now Ted is out, shilling for quality hammers to make up income. Have you considered quality hammers on your shelf? We made the switch recently and business has tripled. Well, of course, I'd love to have dinner with your lovely daughters. Evelyn. Hey, a man gets lonely out on the road. I know how it is. Nah. Harry, you've been traveling, right? Sure, yeah. Down in New Orleans, just taking a break. Vacation. Looking around for ideas. Tell her about the pool or the beach, Evelyn. Sounds nice. And the hostess. I may just cut you off. Evelyn looks dejected. Harry clears his throat. So, the pool or the beach? Yeah, Harry. Which was it? Well, it was a week of relaxation and now I'm back. You still look stressed, if you don't mind me saying. He just looks like that. Sure, that's just how I look. I've never known you to leave town, Harry. I've never known you to leave this bar. Oh, no. I get out. You still drive that old truck? I don't know. I think they towed it eventually. The hell you say? That must have been years ago, Harry. How do you get around now? I take the bus, or I walk. You walk to New Orleans? Watch it, Evelyn. Looks dejected. I didn't mean nothing by it, Harry. Harry, did you really go to New Orleans? Now, just where do you two get off? Sorry, forget it. Sure, she didn't mean nothing by it. We'll lay off you and get back to drinking. Gotta be ready for the entertainment. Who's on tonight? Tonight it's Junebug. Works for me. Around 8, I think. I'll stick around. I could use some sad music. I came here to break some hearts. What's that? To dash dreams? What are you talking about? Got to talk to my parents about their bar tab. I won't be paying for them anymore. Hang on now. No, it's time to cut the old folks loose and head west. I can't keep enabling them, you know? A debt's a debt now. Harry, I'm sorry. I know you've got vested interest, and I don't want to make a victim of you. They'll come up with it somehow, I'm sure. No, it's not that. The thing about debts is you never know when they'll be reckoned and called in. And what's that mean? I'm not saying anything, but I know debt, Harry. I see it all day. It's all around me. Like a thick gray fog. It's in the air I breathe. At the pawn shop, they have a new financial technology. I'm the ambassador. Did you know that? A new technology? It's a new kind of debt, Evelyn. And it's a mess. What do you mean, a new kind of debt? You know what we do at the pawn shop? Secured loans. We don't buy used goods, we take personal property as collateral on a loan. And if you don't pay your loan, we sell your stuff. Sure, I get that. It works for people who couldn't get loans otherwise, I guess. Now, Hardin has this new idea. He calls it a payday advance. But it's just short-term, unsecured loan with a wicked interest rate. There's no filtering. Most who borrow can't keep up. And he has this big pile of debts with big returns on paper, and he can sell those debts to a bank. Who's borrowing like that? Who do you think? When Joe put me in charge of it? The only dark-skinned clerk in the whole shop? You think so? I know it. Don't you see, I look just like you. You can trust me. But Joe knows they won't pay on time. There's no money in lending, but there's money in usury. That's in the Bible. I won't be his shill. I just have to save a bit more and then I go to California. I'll be a real clerk. At a credit union or something. Something ethical. Just have to get rid of these old parasites first. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Well, my tab is in good shape, I think. You're behind too. Not as bad as the Slades, but... Well, Harry, the only thing I owe you is a handshake and this whiskey you're about to pour me. Let's say this one's on me, Pearl. Nah, I'm good for it. For today, let's just say it's on me. You're awfully strict about cash for a guy who just got back from a vacation. Drink up, Evelyn. Maybe you'd better find some other chair to sink into so your debts don't get reckoned out from under you. I'm out for a bit. I'll be back later to disappoint a couple of old deadbeats. I'll stay for the entertainment. I won't throw you out, but just remember what I said. Yeah, like this is a bit longer than some of the acts in the main game. Certainly taking its time. Act 3 sound cues, sound 11 distant highway, sound 12 drone 3. To set the play in present day 1973, we needed to adjust the price of gas as discussed by Pearl, Evelyn, and Harry. We also made some adjustments to the description of Pearl's work. We left in a line about Rain's Law, which would have been archaic in Doolittle's time anyway. I guess the biggest change we made, besides mashing the two Doolittle plays into one, was the title. Thought we should rename it A Reckoning and a Barfly to mix the two titles and really be clear about where it came from. But Carrington liked the bleak irony of the entertainment. Joseph Wheatree. Stiffly written but well acted, there aren't many characters in the entertainment. Now playing at Buffalo Street Student Theater, but director James B. Carrington has been able to give them all enough dimension to make them interesting. Edgar Foy's performance as dejected bartender Harry is convincing. This is not a role into which an actor can project much power. The audience pities him, without ever really knowing why. Indeed, despite the cast's well-rounded portrayals, sparks only fly once or twice. Zoe Hook, Louisville Times. Management material. That's what he said. Is that so? 11 years behind, a supermarket till. Damn right. Damn right. have commitment and reliability. That's what he said, management material. I bet they raise you to $3. I bet 4. The responsibility whistles. You see Pearl today? She was working all day, I think. Usually doesn't work mornings. Slade women are all getting promoted. They just put her on another shift. What's the morning shift like at a pawn shop, do you think? Yeah, black coffee and desperation. Let's celebrate. Harry, another round. Celebrating 2 promotions in the family. Talked to Pearl today. She worked all day. She was here earlier. She'll be looking for you two. She'll be back. Why don't you just pace yourselves till you talk to her? You're celebrating. Pace yourselves, or pay your bill. Why are you so stuck on a bill all of a sudden? Are you sunstruck? Sure, you know it's twice as bright when... Oh my god, I don't even know how to look at... who to look at. Evelyn. Can you catch sight of any alligators? Sure, it was gators everywhere. Swamp. Big sandy swamp. With a pool and a hostess. What's that? Set him up, Harry. Junebug will be here any minute. We want to be receptive. Alright, but I keep track. There'll be a reckoning. You folks here? About the reckoning? First I've heard. What's up, Harry? Short on your bills? Let the books get away from you? That's an ignorant thing to say. Been doing my books for 10 years, keeping this place alive all on my own ever since Bess. I'd have just let you run that tab up until you drink yourselves underground. Now, he didn't mean nothing by it, Harry. Yeah, Harry. You know I'm only joking. Sure, I know you're joking. Alright, let's drink. I better slow down. Our time's whiskey comes on strong. Don't want to end up like that boiled owl in the corner. I can't tell anymore. I heard they have some secret ingredients, or a secret process or something. Something in the wood? They age it in? Yeah, something strange in that wood. Drink up, Larry. Don't call me Larry. Sounds like an old man. Alright, Silver Fox. Now, you. I'll let it slide. Another? Well, I don't get paid until Friday. I haven't seen Pearl all day. She can pick it up when she comes back. Don't count on it. What the hell kind of thing to say is that? Own daughter. Generosities have limits. I don't know what she said, but the Slades are good for it. This family takes care of our own. Sure, we'll get straightened out when she comes back. Better get here soon, or she'll miss the entertainment. Shouldn't Junebug be here now, Harry? Yep. That's what you get working with artists. Good entertainment, but it's always late. This is pretty late, though. We'll stick around. We're celebrating. Sure. Yeah, not expecting a late-night sentimental call, and if he does, let it ring, the philanderer. Last drink, Evelyn? What more, Harry? I just want to hear some music. Well, she'd better show up soon. Still Act 3, or moving on to Act 4? Oh god. Love this song. I've never heard it. It's a love song. It's a Valentine. Sure. Ever been in love? Nope. Me neither. Well, there's Ted. Son of a bitch. Evelyn. Love Ted, right? He's a son of a bitch. Out on the road, selling hammers and hammering shop girls. You know he isn't. Well, I wish he would. You don't mean that. Sure, I don't mean that, but he's a son of a bitch, but you have to stick by your family. Sometimes, if it kills you. Do you? Why? You just have to. Why? I love this song. What if they're better off without us? My folks could get better with money. Ted could, I don't know, meet someone new. He wouldn't. He's a good man. Would you? Oh. All I want is to be free of parasites. Keep my own money, pay my own debts. Don't be a fool. Buy me a drink. What do you want? I want to run a hardware store with my dear husband, Evelyn. I want a whiskey. That's all you want? And a love song. She could have said, sure. Pearl, you could have said something. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to say anything, Dad. Letting us just sit and soak up a debt. We're celebrating. Pearl, it's supposed to be a celebration. Don't you know the news? Larry, drop it. So celebrate. I'm not stopping you, but I'm not paying for it. Your mother's going to be a manager, so put a manager's salary on that tab. It's not... Sure, they said she's management material. What kind of material are you, Pearl? Maybe... He said maybe. I made of sweat and blood and beer, just like you raised me. It's a damn strange thing to say. Sure, my hands are cut up, but you're a loan clerk, and your mother is a manager at a supermarket. Damn it, Lawrence. It's not settled. Not settled? O'Neill just handed you a promotion. Why can't you celebrate? Rosa, what did he say to you? Remember what he said to you? He said, didn't he? He said, maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. Management material. Keep your chin up. Maybe eventually. Sooner or later, keep your chin up. How's that, Dad? Enough. You can still settle. It'll just take longer. I should look again. Just sit with me, Larry. Just wait for the music. Get away from the awfulness. Sure. We can celebrate. Sure. The Slade women are moving up. Eventually. If she's this late, she's not coming. Where's Junebug? Where's the entertainment? I said, if she's this late, she always shows up. I've got nothing better to do. You gonna settle up first? Be a fool. Watch it. I'll buy you a drink. How about a water, Evelyn, and maybe call it a night? What time is it? Love this song. It's relaxing. The sun by the pool, on a beach full of gators. God damn it, Evelyn. Harry, watch your language. What would Bess think? Good Christian woman. God damn it, who cares if I did or didn't go to New Orleans? She didn't mean anything by it. Maybe I just sat here alone in the dark. You like that, Evelyn? That what you want to hear? Watching nature programs in the dark? Just me and the deer, and the gators, and the goddamn dinosaurs. It was Harry's Ark, Evelyn, 2 by 2, out of the flood and into the poorhouse. She's just drunk. All on my dime. Stick around and you'll see. What are you talking about, Harry? What reckoning? I want to hear another love song. Where's Junebug? I hope she never shows up. Can't pay her, the money's run out. What's that? It's gone. Money's all gone. Let you sponges soak up so many free drinks now I can't even stock the whiskey without striking a deal. No more whiskey? Harry, what kind of deal? Doesn't matter. You can't blame us, Harry. We're just a little short from time to time. Sure. Just leave, Pearl. Trust me. Okay. I'm leaving. Are you sure? I'm sure. You don't deserve this. All I want is a love song and a little whiskey. You'll have plenty of time for whiskey. I just want to be left alone. That man is like a straitjacket. I know, Evelyn. If only he'd meet some tall young thing on the road. I know. 11 years behind a supermarket till. Keep your chin up, Rosa. Eventually. Maybe. Maybe eventually. Now, you all should clear out. Where would we go? Just let us wait. Let us wait for Junebug. We're good for it. We just want to have a few drinks. See the entertainment, then we'll go home. You don't understand. We know you're struggling. We're all struggling. Harry, you said you have a deal, right? God damn it, you don't understand me. Harry, your language. What's to understand? We'll settle our debt soon. Rose is in line for this promotion. All they want is debt. They feed on it. They put it in the whiskey. What? The hell are you saying? He'll be here soon. Boy from hard times, there will be a reckoning. Harry, our debt's not to the distillery. It is now. I traded it. I sold it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh. Well, that's quite loud. My apologies. What the heck? Good lord. Well, and kinda dragged on, not gonna lie. $83 and sunny now. Looks like it's going to get up to about a 101 by late afternoon in Louisville and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get out those parasols. Haha, major accident just ahead of Bardstown exit. So if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend. Nice that. Sugar? As it is. That's what Ira used to say. I had a dream about him last night. Those old horses of Ira used to keep me up. I heard you yelling. Bad dreams? We were up on a roof, Ira and I, and Charlie, eating a light supper. I was drinking sweet tea, Charlie was reading. We were surrounded by other houses, closely packed. Huge sidewalks, must have been... what's the word? Subdivision? That's it. I'm sure. Below us, a group of people were gathering, standing quietly. Man was reading from a book. Asked Ira about the weather. Would it rain on Tuesday, or when would the sun set? Something like that. He wouldn't answer me. Charlie stood up and Ira told him to watch his step, and then I remembered. I woke up before I could stop him. I always told him to test each tile with a heel first. It's a heel, you can kick it back and still put your toe on something when the tile slips. I remember your lessons. He just wanted to study his, what's it called? Astronomy. That's it. How could I forget? It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's an accident, a tragedy, a shame. Tragedy. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. A long drive. I hope the truck can hold up. Long drive? What makes you think so? They said they couldn't come in person. Be just a shut-in. Recognize the address. The order is all... I'm sure we can fill it. Guess that'll be the last. I guess it will be. Last active last sets and antiquities. Antiques. Oh, what's the word? Death rattle? Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think. Or copy or something. I've had too much. It'll come to you. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. Seems inevitable there will start to be words that I lose forever. What are those boxes you set in the hallway? Those are your clothes. You packed them yesterday. Of course. Of course, should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait for you. There's your traffic and weather on the 5. That's every 10 minutes, brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for the Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. Oh my god, they did have to amputate. Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, though, the only other instance in media I can think of, like, somebody getting, like, a limb crush was The Last of Us 2, like, the older sister. And she had to get her arm amputated. I was thinking about whether or not that would have had to happen here, but there we go. There's our answer. But that's only if you make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want to bill for... Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it. So... What time is it? It's been about 2 hours. Feel like I got some rest. Good. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts on the leg, a bit in the chair, testing it. Well... What? This isn't my leg? No, of course it's your leg. Doesn't feel like it belongs to me anymore. I haven't encountered this reaction before, but it's not totally unheard of. I read a paper about something like this last year. It can happen for a lot of reasons, neurological, psychological, social. I'm sure it won't persist in your case. Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous. From the neuropinol, TM, that's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two, regardless. Thank you, doctor. Sure, let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, side effects. How long am I going to be recovering? Well, at your age, I want to be clear. You should expect lingering effects of the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Don't immerse it fully in water. Avoid extremes of temperatures. I'd stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. Mountain lions? Good advice in any context. Not incorrect. Best thing you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. How often do I clean it? I'd say about once a month. If you find yourself unable to avoid overly dusty or moist environments, you'll want to clean it more often. And, of course, have a doctor examine and recalibrate it every 12 months or so. So, do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. Tell him about the payment plan in the bill. Yeah, that's one of the, atypical clauses. I don't really have any control over the bill now that the Consolidated Power Company bought my employer. They handle everything. So it all runs through your electricity bill now. You can pay it back in full on your next billing cycle, or you can get an emergency credit payment plan. You'd have to call Consolidated for more detail about that. I don't really understand how it works. Something about generating electricity to send back to the grid. Oh, and one more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of the neuropinol TM. Typically, we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states, irregular perception of time. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed, just keep it in mind. Thank you for your help. Julian's outside. We can take you back to your truck. All right. Act 3, Scene 1. We hadn't even gotten to Act 3, Scene 1, and we're already 40 minutes into the stream. How does that happen? Oh, and we're just back at the truck already. We must be outside the museum. Dog. Get some rest back there? Doctor seemed nice enough. Yeah, I'm sure he does an okay job. Shannon. How are the drugs treating you? Streetlights seem a bit brighter. Oh, like trails and tracers? Something like that. My mom used to get that. She had migraines. Folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor or health insurance or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches before something or other would get contested. We learned to just pile on dentist's appointments and stuff those in those short windows. If a cut got infected, her migraines would be too much to handle. Mom would talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another minor, and end up with some pills, and instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions. Like all this lore that came with it. Like magic, dangerous, mysterious. Weaver's folks couldn't help. Yeah, they had pretty good health care, though through the university for a while. A couple times they'd swing something, so I got a bit of whatever Weaver needed. In high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off different directions. Mind racing, like 5 conversations going on in her head at once, and you're lucky if even one of them is with someone in the room, you know? So she had these pills. They seemed to help. I was struggling in school too, failed my history class. She offered to share the pills. Sounds dangerous. Yeah, they seemed pretty harmless at first. I guess that's why I kept going with it. One day I was sitting on my bed, my notebook was open next to me on top of a textbook, and I was holding my pen in hand. I remember this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly with such precision. Couldn't put it out of my mind. Felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It's just a tiny nothing moment. My mom patched up the side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image and that sound. The cage kind of bending and twanging as she was working on it, rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of a bed, hand in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that birdcage with a 1,000-year stare. Sounds like an incredibly severe hyperfixation. So, what's the plan here? Could get in touch with that clerk. I could use a bite to eat. What do you think? Head back to the Zero, I guess. Could use a bite to eat. Oh, okay. You've been on the road for a while. Oh, there's an all-night convenience store not too far from here. Is that okay? Sounds good to me. Okay, we can take the 31 heading east. It's right before 65. Can't say anything to Ezra? Oh, I can push him around a bunch. They move on. They move on. I keep forgetting that, like, I have to click again. Now, where's that convenience store? Truck's engine sputters and dies as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. Oh, good. Act 3, Scene 2. That was a very short scene. The tree. Oh my god. Wow. Shannon, nothing to be done? Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? First time it just died like this. Well, there's the champagne. Anyway, do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Looks like a road crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. Here's their card. I found this card for Mercadet Wreck Recovery on the dash. I can't read the name of the number on this fly, but it looks like a picture of a tow truck. Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. Here's their card. Lucky Boot. Alright, I'll give them a call. If I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel? Old truck just stalled out. Phone. Inaudible, irritated, inaudible, sleepy, inaudible, confused. This is Lucky Boot Collision and Towing, right? A friend gave me your card, open 23 hours a day. Inaudible, accusatory, inquisitive, suspicious. Okay, inquisitive. Yeah, that's why I'm calling. Exactly, that's all. Inaudible, apologetic, inaudible, forceful, inaudible, obtuse. Let's go apologetic. No, it's okay. We just need to get an auto shop and get this taken care of. Inaudible, wistful, maudlin, or concerned. Thanks for the offer, but we really just need a tow is all. Inaudible, neighborly. We already ate. As soon as you can get out here, we're off 65 somewhere. Just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. Inaudible specific. That's actually a pretty accurate description of it. Yeah. Hanging over the power lines just like that. Did you see it go down? Inaudible indulgent. Oh, okay, my pleasure. How long do you think you'll be? Silence, radio music, or distant traffic sounds? Distant traffic sounds. Hello? Let's talk to Ezra. See what Ezra's doing. Are you bored? Are you? Yeah, most of the time. Let's play a game. What would you like to play? Well, you can tell the future with this little tree branch. It's pretty easy. Just break off all the little sticks on each section and count through the different things that could happen. Okay? What should we ask? Should be about you. I can't do both the counting out and the question. What kind of bed will I sleep on tonight? What kind of job will I have next? How will I travel in the future? Ezra snaps the smaller branches away, one at a time, counting out possibilities. Motorbike, motorboat, horseback, hearse, old truck, new truck. New truck. These other branches are too bare. Worry about it too much. It's just a bunch of sticks. Dog. Wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. He's got a lot of houses to carry still. Wish I could help more. Shannon! I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. Could look over the road map again. I've stared at that thing too long already. Where'd you get that map? That old map anyway? It's always just been in the truck. Someone must have grabbed it at a gas station along the line. Maybe they threw it in the glove box at the dealership. Well, my parents bought their first car here and came with the map. Used to sit in the back and pore over it. Remedios saw me looking at it, I guess, and a few days later she gave me a map she brought from Colombia. Looked almost hand-painted, deep, vibrant colors and rough border lines like anxious brush strokes. Really pretty. I'd slowly trace the coastline with my finger, like I was walking on the beach, and say, here we'll swim, here we'll start a fire, and here we'll find a cave in the cliff face and go live among the bats a while. I think I'll take a look at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. Let's walk around. How's it looking? The leads are badly corroded, but I'm making progress. That's what I like about working on electronics. It gets easier as you go along. Maybe you just get used to it. Almost there. Oh, I can't click around anymore. Tow truck must be coming. What? Is this the right way? I don't recognize these trees. Of course it is. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Just, the trees are so quiet, right? Usually you hear birds, wind, a squirrel or something. Turn your ears down and focus on the radio, Cricket. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just a little bored. I'll work some chord progressions in my head for a while or something. Haha. Is this the same June bug? Road ahead. How far out are we? Are we there yet? Oh, stop. Harry's not gonna be happy. You know he doesn't like me anyway. I'll tell him you had to get the drain pipe on tape. I'll tell him about the frog. Ugh, he won't understand. Hey, yeah, didn't you play this on record? Or play on this record? This is Dee Dee's record. Yeah, Dee Dee. Dee Dee. That guy's out of control. We should do a set with him. Only Johnny plays the notes I like. Aw. What time is it? It's late. Harry's gonna flip out. Relax, Cricket. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I'm being uptight. Just play that keyboard. I'll figure out the rest. I know. Oh? They look like they could use some help. You want to fix it up for him, Johnny? Oh, I don't know a wrench from a cattle prod. I thought maybe you. Guess it's up to some good Samaritan. Okay, we'll help him. You're the best. And hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. I know if no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us on our fee. Was that him? That was a motorcycle. Lucky Boot has a big truck. Yeah, they're too fast for a truck. I bet they're getting chased by something. Maybe they just have somewhere important to be. Definitely getting chased by something. Dog! Go say hi to Junebug. Or the other guy. And stay here. Be careful, he's wicked with strangers. Ah, you. You didn't have to stop, we got a tow coming. Hear that, Cricket? We didn't have to stop. Oh, why'd we stop? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. So. Oh. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got 2 questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, like, how do we strike you? Not sure I follow. What kind of temperament do you think we have? What kind of work would you say we do? Astronauts or aliens? I always said you fell from heaven, ma'am. Otherworldly. It's unmistakable. Now, here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? The set used to sing in taverns on the weekend. Beautiful stuff. Sometimes I like to leave the radio dialed on between stations. I don't like music, but I do like sounds. Listen, of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Right now? Right now. Just headed over there on this baby. The vicious cycle. That's what we call our bike. We call it the Vicious Cycle. Pretty tough, huh? Very much obliged. See, we have a regular booking tonight, and, well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder, and if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have one song prepared. Come to the gig, won't you? Of course. Johnny, of course they will. Can you believe we almost didn't stop? Hungry, old man? I think I've got a crust in the sidecar here. Johnny saw you here, you folks were in trouble. Well, it's all said and done. You stopped, that's all that matters. Our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by old Charlie Morin Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a right off the interstate around the petting zoo. Johnny likes the petting zoo. And I do like the petting zoo. Now, let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Wait, what? You're gonna help us? We have a tow truck on the way. Okay. Wait, hold on. Convenience store. Take 31 headed east just before 65. Heading east. Convenience store. Convenience store is just a tiny booth in the middle of a lot that must have been an active gas station. The light on the booth is on. Approach the window. The inside of the booth is big enough for a card table, 2 chairs, and a few plastic crates filled with snacks and warm Coke. 2 men shuffle plastic dominoes across the table. Look for a door. He finds a sliding service window on the far side of the booth, the kind that can slide in and out of the booth without allowing anyone to reach and make a grab at the cash register. Knock on the window. One of the men sends his partner to an exasperated glance, then he returns his attention to the game. Passing some money. One of the men lets out a vexed sigh. Without standing or turning his eyes away from the game, he reaches into a plastic crate, retrieves a small blue bag, and distractedly pushes it through the service window. Chips or something? The bag is illustrated with a cartoon drawing of an avocado, but the nutritional data suggests it's pretty sugary. The expiration date has been worn away. Alright. Where is... Convenience store from the museum? Lower Depths, over by Charlie Morin Highway, just off 65. Take a right off 65 around the petting zoo. Where's the petting zoo? That's the farmhouse. Oh, that's the petting zoo. Petting zoo is closed. This is the Charlie Morin Highway. Oh, and that's the tavern. Act 3, Scene 3. It's weird how there was like this play with the people that we just encountered and the owner that was in the play. Wonder if, it doesn't feel right. Feels dead here. Or like something once died anyway. Bar door. Hard times served. Shannon, kind of late. You sure they're open? Sure, they're open. This is one of those places. Let's head on in. We are not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We've got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. What kind of music do you play? It's like Cyrano Cole meets Ike Towner, but with a woman lead, and the keyboards are kind of ambient whisper wave. a little bit more reverb. There's some Dolly Crown in there too, like the early stuff before she joined the Sheet Swingers. Better drum programming though. Whisper Rave. Got it. I think he gets it, ma'am. Oh, he gets it. Sandwich. A rough brick between two pieces of stale bread sits in the center of the table, surrounded by a ring of undisturbed dust. I don't think that sandwich is for me then. Goggles. A bulky set of black goggles sit on the edge of the table next to an ashtray, a newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh. What is it? I guess... I don't know. Can I tell you a horrible secret? I never wear eye protection in the shop. It's dangerous, I know, but I'm always looking back and forth from my oscilloscope and to whatever I'm working on, and the scope has this peculiar kind of hard-bordered glow that I just... Well, I never found a pair of goggles or glasses that don't smear out that glow. At best, the lens softens everything so you can't quite find the edges. Ezra flips eagerly through the jukebox's catalog of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. Alright, let's talk to the bartender. All I'm pouring tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Yelling towards exit. Say, shut the goddamn door, would you? Can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind. Listen, I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Where is everyone? Everyone had to, clear out. It's got set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. The crowd is forming. Yeah, but also Don't you want to listen? Don't you want to hear some music, Harry? It does sound nice after the day I've had, but Why does it sound like that when they walk? Alright, well... Let's go, watch Junebug. How's it looking all there? How's it looking out there? How are y'all feeling tonight? Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? Harry adjusts a soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test. 1 1 1 3 50. Lamentation. Sounds good. How's everyone doing? Anyone had a real bad night? How about you, old man? Yeah, real bad. We'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know. You like to drive around, old man? That's where of course you do. So we're riding around, we pass this gaudy old tavern. I mean a real dive, busted up facade, weeds in the parking lot, taps all dry, bats in the bar room. And run by this creaky bag of bones looked like the only thing keeping him awake was fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Hey now. So we stopped for an early drink and there was a lady singing right here on stage, and the song she sang, well, it stuck with us and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name. She seemed like a sweet gal and she had voice like Scotch whiskey. We just hoped to do her song justice. So here it is, Too Late to Love You. Ah, they are removing the ceiling. Is that a costume change? It's quite a vibrant dress. Oh, look at that keytar. Ooh. Some pretty cool stars and shooting stars and the moon in the background. When you left me, I never should have met you. I wish we'd met before. Oh, wait, no, when you left me, we get to choose the lyrics. Damn, hold that note. I never thought I'd miss you. I mean, I'm vibing with it. nice. Ah, yes, and the roof returns to us. I bet Harry appreciates that. Would hate for the roof to not come back, especially considering that he has to run the AC. Well, hope you liked it. Kind of sad, isn't it? Kind of. Listen, we appreciate you folks sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We've just got to get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the, Zero. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Rapt. I guess the usual fee is about right, and we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the... Damn it. I was trying to tell you two, I can't pay. You cleaned me out. Got nothing left but a goddamn IOU from the distillery. IOU. Yeah, I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit, so I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Gotta keep this place open somehow, goddammit. What's your language, Harry? Can you pay them with your IOU? Well, very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Well, it's just... I can collect on it I can collect on it here when they bring more whiskey up, but for you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, you know, down to the distillery, down to hard times, and you know, you gotta take the Zero. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? Folks, sure you want to head down there? Never been myself, but I hear people hear things. Rumors. Do you know another way to Dogwood Drive? Dogwood? Got a letter, did you? Got a stack of them. Well, okay, sounds like the Zero is your only course now. Harry, you're alright. If only. Got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you gotta do. Take a left out of the parking lot and then just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar, but... I mean, familiar, but strange. You know, the feeling like... I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer, and... I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but just... something doesn't look right. It's even stranger for being so close to familiar, something like that. You'll know it when you hear it. Fix the strange but familiar station on your dial, drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. I mean, right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Is it? All right. Okay, so tune the radio looking for a station that's familiar but strange. Drive for a while until the station cuts out, then turn around. The station doesn't quite match the bartender's description. Definitely weird though. Let's keep scanning. He said we'd know it when we heard it. What's this station? I've never heard this before. It sounds like horses? Horses running a race? Set and Ira had some horses years back. Yeah, I've always been a little afraid of them. They're so big and, I don't know, you look in their eyes and they're almost human. Like they're human and animal at the same time since they've been domesticated so long, I guess. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry said we just drive until it cuts out. Oh. Horses just in the middle of the road? Okay. This game is so weird. Oh, and now we are somehow on the 0. Okay. Well. An IOU. The Hard Times Distillery. Okay, I guess we're just driving until we see something familiar. The Hall of the Mountain King. What? We got out? Oh, okay, I guess we're supposed to be here. Did we, like, drive past those horses? Oh. Hey, dog. Hey, we got a lot of people with us now. What do you suppose happened here? Some kind of storm washed it away? Or just a slow drip from the ceiling, wearing it down? Bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in disrepair. Johnny. Time to cut him loose, ma'am? Well, now I'm having fun. Ah, okay. Slow night anyway. Go to the boardwalk. Oh. It's the rope. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over with fine dust. Computers. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. Backpack? Wait. Who is that over on the left? Picking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. Fire. A pile of discarded electronics burns steadily in the center of the chamber. There's a person. Amy. Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifting, intersecting, overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. You're here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew, when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interest at heart. Well, really, you're in love with the young woman as well, and so you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections. But it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture? I'm into it. Well, maybe I still have the knack. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing. Real hot, bodice-ripping stuff, you know? I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. Just me and my thesaurus steaming up the windows. I'm not sure you should be listening to this kid. It's okay, I'm sure he doesn't understand most of these words anyway. Why'd you stop writing? You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere you went. I thought I might be able to do something with that, inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. So I went back to the university and I studied human-computer interaction, and then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. My off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. It seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex, and now our work is never done. You don't even have to add any new functionality, the bugs just grow on their own. It's too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. A woman in a tattered cardigan looks furtively at the other people around the fire. There's an old man. Oh, is this Donald? Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe, while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune, softly. Where the old green river runs through the hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. Oh, who are you? What's that song? Oh, you've caught a verse of my absent-minded warbling. It's just a song from my youth. Something a dear friend used to sing to herself as we hacked on crystal radios in the boiler room. In old Kentucky where my love, a lovely home did build for me, and where the old green river runs through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. From there on, it's all meandering rivers and romantic greenery, and that is what we were talking about. We're a bit lost, actually. Ah, you came from the road, Zero. Oh, you should stay off that road. Not safe. Bizarre topology. Never get anywhere, it just brings you right back here. Back to this cave? Always back to this spot. It's a prison. An irrational prison. But I don't mind. Not anymore. This is where my life's work is. The computer, right on the other side of the spire. It's like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Some beat-up mainframe exhumed from a university basement and left in this cave to rot or to flower. No, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively, and in some pretty experimental ways. Believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but you look like a technically minded person, or sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effects of mold growth on diffused base transistor circuitry? Sounds like it would short circuit. Certainly, certainly. But not all of it. Some moldy filaments are more or less conductive than others, and it grows in non-linear chaotic patterns. We can guide it a bit through a simple application of classical horticulture, but we can't produce specific results, only tendencies. Thwarted and feeble, we hammer on this derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings. But we are mere gardeners in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels, boundless and bare, the caves stretch far away. You're too late. Always too late. What, did you say something? I'm just interested in the mold computer. The mold computer? Oh, Xanadu. You heard about it. Perhaps you've read about it in the journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structure in my article, Literary Multitudes Hypertextual Narrative as Post-Structural Witness. Evolved, and then deteriorated. Donald sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. Afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiast. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something wholly enchanted, then all the charm was broken. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as the work declines into ruin? Drive deliveries for a small antique shop and we're closing down. Shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts, and I keep them in there, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce. Anyway, far too late to do anything. Do you know that when I first... No, I mean... This cave were larger, could it... I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How would you characterize this space? The one we're standing in right now? It's a mess. A catastrophe. Or the site of some ancient catastrophe. Anyway, sure, the evidence is all around us. What's burning on that fire? Mysterium tremendum. It sends the shadows scattering momentarily, lights the mouths of the unseen tunnels. The fire is constantly reshaping my... Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Okay. Good. Now, you're standing at the top of a rocky peak. A tongue of flame licks the shadowy anatomies of... Where are we? Oh. Here again. How disappointing. Sorry to, disappoint. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't be so attached to the future. It's always getting in the way of my work. Better to be in the moment, carefully observing and documenting with no attachment. Let me give you an example. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on his project. He said we needed someone with a more analytical mind to do the descriptive writing. Someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor, instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. Donald warned me it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into the computer, and I put in the hours, believe me, I've put in the hours. I've described every facet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking, writing or exploring. Often in the dark and lonely moments, I worry that in my sleep I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? They could only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write, and all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. Damn, Andrew, you okay, bud? Xanadu? Gate. A massive gate constructed out of scavenged materials block passage down the far side of the spire. Roberta. Roberta, the kingdom is in peril. Roberta laughs. Well, what else is new? Do you work here? Work. You could call it that. I gather old circuit boards and throw them in the fire. Sometimes I fish out precious metals and let them cool into toxic gems. I put them in my hair. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, a magic shield that protects the bearer from age, a magic chest that's always filled with... I never went to university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took to the public libraries like a beachcomber. I studied fairy tales. And then I came to work for Donald. I paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics, scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the fireword into senescence. The kingdom is in peril. Feels like a lot of people have just like straight up lost their minds on Route Zero, but I guess that's the only thing that you can do when you're faced with such inexplainable roadways. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electrical typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. Alright, well, let's power it up. Let's mess with it. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. Very well. Act 3, Scene 5. Oop, my apologies. Xanadu. Oh God. Xanadu. Huh? I don't know what I'm doing, or whether or not what I'm interacting with is actually doing anything. Just the house. Xanadu. You are staying at the end of the... Around you is a flies. Ah, this thing is in a rough shape. Do these switches do anything? Conway flips an unlabeled switch. You are standing at the small around you are flies. Okay, that's worse. It looks like a house. Type house. House. In Blood Quit. You are in this west passage with flies everywhere. Oola. You're on their backs, and that's the rip. So hold on, let me. Okay. Good lord, this is so loud. Did that just say Lula? Typing Lula. Donald as well as inventor. I've got the time machine. And the... So we won't need to type as much. Or won't have to type as much. Joseph is... Joseph has his Black Swan 2 punch cards. He transcribed for the... And he's a typewriter, and you've got the... How's your back holding? Shannon, damn, I can't tell what she's saying. Oh, I have my portable degausser with me. Old systems like this one can build up remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along with the pattern it's settled into, you know? Degausser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic's field around until it's uniform again. That's how I like to think of it anyway. Like shaking a snow globe. Worth a shot. Fall of the Mountain King. Xanadu. For what may have been, you stumble out of a tunnel into a cave. Well, okay. Stalactites adorn the ceiling. Like... the center of it. Large, enormous mock spire. This is where you set up your... Premature end of file, press any key to quit. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Good lord. I do apologize about the noise. That's just... a lot. It's almost as loud as my microphone was. It's like deafening. Alright. I went ahead and, turn the audio back up a bit. Bizarre. What was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. Alright, let's walk over to Donald. There's Amy again. I'm trying to, like, even make sense of what all of this is, what it means. Like, if it means anything at all. Really starting to lean towards, no, it's just a wacky adventure, or if there's, like, something to understand from it. So, you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Pretty busted. Chalky bones of a beautiful dream. But you can see what it once was, can't you? Can't you? There's so much more to it. Ornate labyrinths of memory, exhaustively simulated parallel cave ecosystems, real artificial intelligence built on sophisticated neural network algorithms. The birds in the forest could flock in 3 dimensions. The bats could learn to sing. And then it began to crumble when the strangers came. At first we only heard them, walking heavily through the caves, dragging things around, hammering and clattering their tools. Sometimes we heard working songs, never close enough to make out real voices, just their echoes cascading wordlessly in the tunnels. Then we caught a glimpse of one. What did they look like? They looked like... It's too horrible. I shouldn't be telling you about this. They're dangerous. They're strange. I should never have tried to outwit them. They were always too much for me, but it's too late now. I'd listened to Lula, Lula? Lula Chamberlain? Yes, of course. Do you know her? We're looking for her now. No, she's gone now. She left. We built this together. Did you know? Lula, Joseph, and I. Lula is gone from here, but Donald points across the cave with his pipe. Still in there. In Xanadu. I don't know where Lula is now, or how to get there from here, or how to unwind that damaged, tangled highway, but Xanadu, before its ruin, was faultless as an oracle, a shrine to perfect simulation. Until... But maybe? Those weird interlopers destroyed my Xanadu. Perhaps they know how to fix it. It may be dangerous. I've sent many eager seconds to negotiate with them to repair my masterpiece. Back there. That tunnel. Push back the vines, crawl out into the darkness and watch your step. After a while, you'll feel the terrain change beneath your hands and knees, from rock to crystal, then to mud. Then you'll be out. That's where the strangers come from. Now, leave me alone. Still have a bit of mold in my pipe and a few dreams left. You're smoking mold? Why? Ugh. God, I can't even... that must not be pleasant in the slightest, but I guess bad stimulation is worse than no stimulation. Jeez. Good lord. A graveyard and a church. Are we out of the zero? Or is this just another entrance to the zero? Hmm. Oh, wait, are we... Oh my god, I thought I was waiting for them to come out of the crypt, but... I guess I had to tell them. Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. It's muddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Crystals and then mud. Okay. I want to stay outside. Okay. I'll stay with them. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. Oh. So now I'm playing as Ezra. Find any lizards? One, but it went under a rock. That's lizards for you. Is that guy your boyfriend? Nah. It's a boyfriend anyway. It's a word people use because everyone else does. Doesn't mean anything to me. He's my cricket. See? It means something. It's specific. I want to be specific. I think you are. This is the middle of the night and Here you are in a graveyard. Any other kid your age would be in bed. You just gotta make choices and own them. You think I was born this foxy? I came off the assembly line about a half-foot shorter and all gray, no eyes. They were going to have us clearing out the old mine. Doesn't matter what you look like under all that rock and water. A bunch of gray shadows shoveling and hammering invisibly at the walls, draining the tunnels. Johnny found some gear, an old tape player. He hid away in an underwater cave and listened to it over and over. We knew we weren't miners. We slipped out onto the road, just these two featureless shadows, and ever since that night, we've been detailing, coloring in, specifying. Feel more like myself every day. Feel more like myself when it's just me and Julian. Well, there. Now you're getting specific. Oh, I didn't get the chance to look for lizards. Whoops. There you are. What did you find in there? It wasn't... Hey, what's going on? You look flushed, old man. Doesn't matter. Right, okay. We got what we need. Let's go. Oh? I wonder what was in the church. You would have seen if we had selected differently. Back into the hall of the Mountain King. Alright. Singing softly. We found your strangers. We know how to fix your damned machine, but I'm not sure it was worth it. Oh. Soon the visions will return. What have you found? Say you need to type in a specific phrase to restore it. They say you need to scrape the mold off the timing crystal. They say you need to unplug it for a while. The molds... Of course, too much mold on the timing crystal would send the simulation adrift. Each moment lived out of sync, but by all means, yes, clean the timing crystal. Okay. I'm sure any of those answers could have been correct. God, I'm so curious as to what they saw. Dang, Junebug. Your legs sound more mechanical than... I literally just forgot his name. I was about to call him Conrad, but I don't think that's right. Alright. You see anything that looks like a timing crystal? Yeah, right behind the control panel. It's filthy. Right, we're supposed to scrape off this black moldy stuff. Weird. Just following instructions. Here we go. Act 3, Scene 9. Oh my god, how many scenes does this have? What in the heck? Oh, okay, hold on. Preemptively turning down the, Xanadu. There we go. At end of road. Okay. Seems to be a shack of some kind. In a forest? You were standing at the end of the road before a small brick building. Around you is a forest. Check out the building. Conway. Conway, God. Conrad, jeez. Typing, enter the building. Inside building. There's a lantern on the table. You are inside a building, a storage shed for the National Park Service. There's a sensible, modern electric lantern nearby. Get the lantern. Typing, get the lantern. Taken. Typing, exit building. Enter forest. It's not something you can enter. Just type a direction. Typing, north. Weird. In forest. Okay. I don't think I understand why this is so important. Like, is it some kind of like AI or like you're in an open forest with a deep valley to one side. Back south to that building. Typing south. You're in a forest. Hey, it's a maze. South, east, northwest. Oh, shoot. South. You're in a forest. Lula is here. Soldering replacement components in a small handmade radio. Oh, we should talk to her. Typing, ask Lula how she is doing. Hi, Donald. I'm getting the strangest interference out here. I've been tuning the radio circuits gradually as we go, swapping capacitor values and tweaking resistor networks. It was working for a while, but everything I can pick up sounds so distant and muffled. Lula hands you the radio. Well, maybe you'll have better luck. You're good at this stuff. Just don't forget to give it back. East? You're in a forest. Joseph is here, tapping with a small stylus on a modified pocket braille slate. Small gray kitten, no more than a few weeks old, dozes comfortably on the top of the backpack. Maybe he has something to say. Listen. Donald, I was just transcribing your footsteps. Sounded like... Joseph runs his fingers along the index card he's been tapping on from from right to left. Long, weary song, drearily gone, drearily gone. You beat a melancholy shuffle through the woods, Donald. Ha! I've been noting down the sounds of the forest with an ear for speech and an inborn filter for poetry. I suppose... So maybe it's me being melancholy after all. I'm eager to see what poetic subsystem make out of these punch cards. More south? It shut off. At edge of hole. There is a hole? Xanadu, you are at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to rock as the ground sinks into darkness. The computer tied to your upper back slickens with sweat in the afternoon sun. The rope slung around your shoulder has slipped under the strap of your backpack, digging uncomfortably against your collarbone. Go down into the hole, that seems pretty obvious. Down. The cave walls are too slick to climb safely without assistance. You'll lose your footing and fall to your death. Okay. Your score was 0 out of possible 8,192. What? Die in Xanadu. I got an achievement for that. You may continue or quit. Continue. Are we just wasting our time here? What is this? Edge of hole. Maybe we need to climb down more carefully. Try using the rope to climb down safely. Tie rope to tree. The rope is tied snugly to a tree trunk. Down. Your feet slip a few times on the slimy rock, but you remain stable. Lula and Joseph descend carefully after you. Is this like the in bed quilt? Is this like the origins of Route Zero? You are in bed quilts, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Joseph and Lula remove their the computer equipment they are carrying on their backs and begin setting up. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. Say something back to her, typing. Say something back. You make an awkward joke. Don't be so morbid. Lula looks pensive. What's the gear they're carrying? Ask Lula about gear. Sure, Donald, we may as well take inventory. I got the tape machine, the synthesizer parts we borrowed from the School of Music. It's all tuned up to my voice so he won't have to type so much. Joseph has his slate and the punched cards he's transcribed from the poems we read him. He's got the typewriter and the paper tape reader, and you've got the CRT display. How's your back holding up? Ask her about the cave. Ask Lula about the cave. Having second thoughts? I don't blame you, it's unsettling down here. Weird acoustics. Earlier as we were climbing down, I thought I heard voices for a moment, or not voices themselves, but these echoes of voices singing some kind of eerie, tuneless working song. I'm glad I'm not down here alone. Joseph looks uncomfortable. Jealous. Hey, Donald, can you help me, wire up these generators? I'll assemble the synthesizer, but I could use some help with the serial interface with you have time. Wire up the generator. Oh, Xanadu, you hear an unfamiliar echo from the tunnel to the east. Wire up the generators. Help Joseph. I appreciate it, Donald. I'm not much of an electrician. You know that. Joseph hands you a bunch of wires. His kitten curls up on a spool of cabling. Listen, the three of us had a good thing for a minute, wouldn't you say? Up at the old place before it got ugly? Saying, came down here to work, to really do it. Xanadu. And I mean, we've got to be rational about this. All three of us have got to put our feelings aside for a bit and be rational. Do you know what I'm saying? Just agree with whatever he's saying. This isn't helpful. Is he talking about Lula? Kind of creepy. Tell Joseph to back off. Joseph wipes his brow with a dusty sleeve. Seems down here we're all strangers. Permanently strange. You were interrupted by an ominous echo of grating, scraping sound from the east, louder than before. What the hell was that? Let's check it out. You rush down the tunnel, with Joseph and Lula close behind. Kind of intense back there. No wonder they're still thinking about it. The tunnel narrows, and soon you find yourself crawling on your hands and knees. Navigating the tunnel gradually becomes more awkward, as smooth rocks give way to jagged crystalline surfaces. Scratches and taps echo from the end of the tunnel, some short and piercing, some slower and groaning as if dampened by water. The tunnel opens into a large room. In Crystal Room. Aren't these the people that, or a person that we saw at the play? Xanadu, you are in a large irregular chamber. The walls, floor, and ceilings are covered with crystalline projections. Are these the people that run like the distillery? That everybody's just like they look weird? Strangers are here, scraping black mold from the crystals. They look up when you enter. One of them seems about to speak. Ezra, finally! Shannon, let's listen to what he has to say. The stranger reaches for a box he's carrying and presses a plastic button. The box whirs to life and a crackly voice blurts something unintelligible, and slows to a deep gurgle. He looks at his companions momentarily in confused disappointment, and he returns his awful gaze to you. Joseph flees through a tunnel to the north. Lula flees through a tunnel to the northeast. Follow Lula. Run north. Lula's headlamp scans across the northern passage as you run. Soft shadows loom perplexingly from floor to ceiling. You feel around to distinguish shadows from crystals, but eventually you find yourselves cornered. You've hit a dead end. Who are they? Let's find a way out of here. Escape. That's not a verb I recognize. Typing, look for escape. You can't see any such thing. Listen, I think they've gone back to work. They seem strange somehow. Maybe they've forgotten about us. Alright, let's try to pass them quickly now. Don't make eye contact, then we'll find our way back to the equipment. You are in Bedquilt, a long east-west passage with holes everywhere. Lula is here, panting for breath. Did they follow us? Where's Joseph? She seems pretty scared. May as well wait. Search for him. Let's search for him. Search. I only understood as far as wanting to search. You have to be more specific. With the equipment? Search equipment. The various computer and audio equipment casts angular shadows into the tunnel as you scan slowly across the pile. Nothing. Down one of the tunnels? Search tunnels. You select a tunnel at random. Your lantern illuminates several sets of footprints on the moldy cave floor, but they were impossible to identify. Joseph climbs down from the rope still tied above. That damn sound, those damn voices. I don't even know what direction I was running. I wove through that network of tunnels. I ran my hand along the wall, always turning left, but every turn and every rock felt the same. For all I knew, I was running in circles. Finally, I ended up here. And I hid. I panicked. I heard you talking, but I didn't think I could trust my senses. But listen, there's only one thing I have to tell you. While I was out there lost in the tunnels and caves, I came across the Zero. And I had no idea. It's like a real place. They pick up garbage, they deliver mail, they go to work and to church. But it has an awful kind of emptiness. Wandering through, I heard horrible echoes. Weird images got burned into my mind's eye. A television, a scarecrow, a crystal, a feather, a sandwich, a CRT monitor, a bottle, an anchor. Lula looks down at her feet. What's up with Lula? Ask Lula what is up. Nothing. Just, Joseph, you sound disturbed. Lula, you've heard the same damn stories I have. It doesn't matter now, damn it. I'm leaving. To hell with all of it. Well, we should stop him, get him back on track. We're so close. Divert Joseph's attention. You shout something at Joseph about the project that you are working on together. You'll die in these damn cold caves. What about those men? You know they'll come back. Tell them we can find somewhere to start a fire. Tell them we can hide from the strangers. Suggest finding somewhere to start, safe to start a fire. You shout something at Joseph about going deeper into the caves. Did you hear the voices? They're not... They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too. But I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down the Zero. Whoa, don't let her leave us here. I think we need her to stay. Ask Lula to stay. You plead with Lula about your continued collaboration. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damned machine does with it. Lula and Joseph have left. Wait, so this is just recurring, like, we're replaying a lot of the events that occurred in that, museum exhibit that played in between chapters 1 and 2. It's weird how there's just like, I don't know, like art pieces about so much of the stuff that occur within the story. Xanadu, abandoned by your collaborators, your confidants, and your companions, the only two among your colleagues with whom you've ever trusted the gift of your friendship. Pretty thick. Sounds like Beardo had his heart broken. You wander the tunnels alone, dragging along the components of your unrealized masterpiece, combing the underground passages for a new site in which to realize your vision. Sounds like a genius. How do you mean? Wordy, vain? Flapper Queen, finally able to catch another stream. Welcome back. We are actually playing some Kentucky Route Zero, which is a game I am struggling to wrap my head around. It is strange, to say the least. We'll go with wordy. Shannon. Ha. Had a guy who came into the shop once with a bunch of old radios and computers and stuff. Real junk. I think he collected it going down alleys or something. Anyway, it was all broken. He asked me if I could get the tubes out and clean them up. Vacuum tubes. So I pulled every vacuum tube I could find and threw the rest out, and I went over them with some rubbing alcohol and cleaned the leads. I used some nail polish remover on the glass, and I did a pretty good job. Came back in the next day and I laid it all out on a towel for him so he could check it out. Got the towel from my Aunt Remedios, and like everything with her, it's really kind of nice, you know? It's red and it has this gold embroidery around the edges. I guess it was a little too nice. This guy got all excited by the presentation, kind of circled it, observed each tube from a distance, moving his head around in a weird, quick bobs like a pigeon. And then he started just lecturing and nobody in particular about the history of vacuum tubes. He talked for like an hour. We went on a few dates, but nothing really came of it. Turns out he was kind of boring. Okay. Kind of tangential, but all right. And now we're back where we are. I have no idea, or I have no comprehensible reason as to why we just sat down at this computer experiencing all of this. After what may have been years, you stumble out of a tunnel into a cavernous open space. Stalactites adorn the ceiling like grotesques. In the center of the room is an enormous rocky spire. This is where you will set up your equipment and establish your legacy. Xanadu. Oh my god, this is getting too meta. No, stop. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistance, 0. Realism index, 37%. Romance index, 2%. God dang. I mean, it's more than I thought. Mold coverage, 0%. You may hire a new research assistant. Assign assistants to task or sleep until tomorrow. Hire a new research assistant. Hire. Uploading job advertisement to university message boards. You have hired Weaver, who studies mathematics. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Wait. We know Weaver. Assign assistant to task. Assign. May assign research assistant to debugging, transcription, or speculation. Math. Speculation. Assigning available research assistant to speculation. Hire a new research assistant. No applicants. Try again later. Sleep. Time passes. Weaver posits that nature, not reason, is the master of the industry. Now is the time to continue your work. Okay. Gotta hire a new assistant. You've hired Roberta, who studies fairy tales. Assign assistant to task. Speculation again. 2. Hire a new research assistant. Sleep. Weaver muses out about the love lives of fungal colonies. Roberta makes a convincing argument for the edibility of stone. What? Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Now is the time to continue your work. Research assistant. Romance index 52%. Ooh, realism index, mold coverage. You may hire one new research assistant. Hire. Loading job advertisement. You've hired Greg, who studies architecture. Assign assistants to task. Debugging 1. Assign assistant to task. Let's do transcription 1. Assign assistant to task. Speculation. Hire a new assistant. Sleep. Greg fixes some weird math with some weirder math. Weaver carefully transcribes the sounds of dripping water and all their variations over a period of several hours. Roberta discards centuries of exhaustive data on the uniformity of cause and effect. Intruders! The strangers are doing something to the equipment, but you can't make out what. You hide behind a rock until they leave. With trepidation, you emerge from your hiding place. Hours later, not convinced this is getting us any closer to the 0. Yeah, I don't think so. They hire a new research assistant. Hired Rick, who studies library sciences. Transcription 2. Assign assistants to task. Debugging 1. Assign assistant to task. Debugging. Oh, okay. Roberta widens tunnels slightly to reduce the need for extra crouch commands. Weaver identifies a bug with the oxygen level simulation, but is unable to fix it. Rick summarizes migratory patterns of bats through the tunnel. Greg types up some lurid imagery from a dream journal. Weaver follows the strangers into the tunnel. She doesn't return, but neither do they. Now is the time to continue your work. You may hire a new assistant. You have hired Andrew. Assign assistants to task. Debugging, 4. Sleep. Time passes. Andrew makes adjustments to the echolocation algorithm. Bats now fly normally instead of getting hung up on each other's wings and clustering together like horrible, leathery tumbleweeds. Greg fixed bugs. Roberta fixed bugs. Rick fixed bugs. Greasy black mold is collecting on the computer equipment. Continue the work. Maybe we should try starting over or something? This doesn't seem to be helping. Oh my god. The strangers are removing the mold. Okay. Okay, I'm just, if I keep hiring, or like if I keep them on transcription, I might be able to... Wait. You dream fitfully. You, Lula, and Joseph stand in a hallway. The walls are blank beige. It's just after the winter quarter, but before spring, and so there are no students around. Joseph says something clever, and Lula leans on his shoulder. You wish that instead she had taken your hand, or that there were any other option. Now is the time to continue your work. Your habit of absent-mindedly chipping away at cave crystals and sprinkling their dust in the air behind you has paid off. Just a few feet down one of the tunnels blooms a small but kaleidoscopic garden of crystals. You're at 100%. Oh. Wait indefinitely. Time passes. Research assistants come and go. You don't encounter the strangers again, but sometimes you can hear the uncanny echoes of their voices off in the tunnels. Years pass. Mold accumulates. You and the remaining research assistants take to burning disused equipment in the center of the room. The black mold is intensely flammable and makes an excellent catalyst. It leaves behind a sweet narcotic perfume. One night, you have visitors, outsiders, different ones. Then, later that night, an old friend. Ula, you really did go deeper into the caves. Premature end of file. Press any key to quit. Shannon. Huh. Does that mean we just have to wait for Lula to arrive? Act 3, Scene 10. Oh my god. It's a long act. Yeah, there's Lula. There's Donald. I guess we'll... Really did go deeper into the caves. You were easy enough to find. But a few of your former assistants, one can't help but hear things. But this is what became of our project. Oh, I've made some additions. Joseph stole the data tapes for the first half, so I had some blank spots to fill. Yes, I know, he published his version, actually. I'm sorry to report that it's a bit tediously sentimental. We've been looking for you. So you found the address data? Just pass it over to Donald here. Donald will be a dear and crunch those will you be a dear and crunch those numbers? We're looking to sort out a street name collision. Dogwood Drive. Wasn't the Bureau going to process it? I insist. I have cycles to spare. I'll just pack my pipe and get to it. It should only be an hour or so. Andrew will carry it over too. I'll be at the Bureau for the rest of the night. Just mark it private materials for the attention of Senior Clerk Chamberlain. How do we get to the Bureau from here? The bridge. Yes, the bridge. Through the gate over there. Donald sentimental. Now we, too, proceed into history. Good night, Donald. To Shannon. Meet me at the Bureau, and we'll get you on your way. Head counterclockwise to the cathode ray, then turn around. Then it's just clockwise until you find the Bureau. Quietly, between us, I think you should drive. You're not wrong. Alright, well, let's head over to the gate. You can't even talk to Lula, huh? Alright, well. Jeez. Well, let's go down. God, that was an unbelievably long episode. Yesterday, I've like finished 2 whole chapters in what, just a little over 3 hours? And then this one alone, including like the little thing at the beginning, was like 2 hours, like in 15 minutes alone. I'm sorry, what? How are we on the other side of the bridge? Dog. I wish to speak to dog. Shannon. Thanks for waiting, old man. You've gone a bit longer than we expected. Ran into some trouble, old man, I won't lie to you. Alright, Johnny. What happened up there? Not actually sure. Very mysterious, ma'am. I mean, you ask me anything about, like, what has been going on, I don't know if I'd be able to tell you. We have to go counterclockwise until we hit the cathode ray. And then we go back clockwise. On the sprocket. Anchor. The feather. The wheelbarrow. Did I, like, was I supposed to wait at the cathode ray? And, like, let it just, like, solidify for a little bit? The bat feeder? Is okay. The pendulum. Oh, God. I'm never gonna get out of here. Oh. Bat feeder. We're gonna pass by the pendulum again, aren't we? Yep. Okay. Animal bones. The casket. Mimics the scarecrow. Mimics the mine, huh? The animal bones. Pendulum. Should give me that. Lost? It's no shame, I'll take over. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, I have no idea where I'm going. I thought I did it correctly, but guess not. Act 3, Scene 11. Good lord. The first two chapters of this game, or the first two chapters are like nothing compared to this thing. Dog. Junebug, you... Hey, you see that cat over there? Looked like she just washed up. Where do you think she came from? Junebug is in... completely different outfit. Is Junebug a robot? Am I like misinterpreting that or something? Oh, there she is. Lula. Here you are. Marianne has the rest of the evening off, so I'm minding the desk. You're not too busy? I'm in the middle of something, I just let the phone ring. Soothing in a way. The results just came in by courier. Good news, Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. I had Rick cross-reference the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing. Are you going somewhere? I might. I'm feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. They still have one of my sculptures in a museum down there, did you know? Big, ugly iron thing. It's time to have it scrapped anyway. Safe travels. Stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks, and deep. Thank you, Lula. Thank you. Hello, Kitty. How you? I think they are robots. Just realized they have like... How long do we have to wait? Oh, who knows? Alright, what happened? What? In the church at the graveyard, you two came out of there all weird. What happened? It's okay. Could tell. Doesn't matter anymore. Fine. So we were in that graveyard. Is it not going to tell us, or are we going to like flash back to that moment? Alright, flashback it is. Where'd the strangers come from? Well, this can't be right. Looks like an old church. It's muddy. Yeah, that's what he said. Crystals and then mud. Okay. I want you to stay outside. I want to stay outside. Okay. I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards. Okay, we'll make it quick. The floor? Church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flexed by unknown boot heels. Okay, I guess we'll sit. I don't know what I expected. Strangers, he kept saying. Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Hell, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier in the mine, I didn't want to talk about it, but... Won't have to talk about it. No, it's okay, I want to. When I saw Weaver, she was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping this through channels to check the saturation. She was just... there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared. Suddenly? Ran away? but we thought... You thought she was dead? Yeah, I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, the next time I flipped to channel 2, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. She's standing in a room, the walls are a blank kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings and desks. A classroom, maybe? Camera's in the corner, so it's a sort of 45-degree angle in the room, and there's Weaver, right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Hell, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually she spoke, but there was no real sound, just this awful hum. I read the closed captions. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. Can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted. Fuzzy. Shannon coughs into her sleeve. It's so dusty in here, right? Yeah, real dusty. You'd think with all these holes in the ceiling. What the hell was that? Did you hear that? We should check outside. Okay. I guess we're just gonna... descend? There are no safety rails on this. I have a feeling like people would not be super thrilled. That is a skeleton. I'm playing as the skeleton. The stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. A crackly drawl echoes in the room. It is patient, and sounds like it should be smiling. Doolittle. My regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. We don't see a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business. We're actually looking for some information on an old computer. Certainly. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher, show you the trucks, get you familiarized. We can converse as we go. What is this place? Some kind of factory? Yeah, maybe, but for what? Why hidden away like this? What's that smell? Like bread? Baking bread? Please, follow me. I think this is the distillery. I have to ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety, and adjust your outfits a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. We don't wear glasses, so that won't be an issue. Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway. Just like this. Or just this way. Who's that in the bottom right? Is that Weaver? What is this place? More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula. What job are they working? I don't know. I don't know that it's been settled just yet. You see, sometimes we take on newcomers already in debt to the distillery. One of the foremen will find something for them to do. Chip away at their sum until it's all settled. Oh my god, those were the people in the bar. I can't remember their names. But they're the people in the bar who didn't pay off their tabs. That's what I'm doing here. Chipping away. That's what we're all doing. Wait, I'm sorry. Are they here well past their own death working off their debts? How do you wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's in perfect condition. How do you think they keep it like that? Maintenance, old man. I bet it's someone's job around here. Probably hard to keep all the dust out, you know, underground. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like a shame to let it just fall into ruin. Yeah, that's capitalism for you. I know, right? There's wandering skeletons. I like that computer back in the caves, Xanadu. They had decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? This is so strange. So, I guess I was right. These are the strangers, and the strangers work on, like, come from the distillery. Here's the fleet. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think. Really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out, hiding out in the back of an old church purifying spirits by handmade fire, a kettle, and a dream. So, the trucks are just east a ways in shipping. You can become more acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facility's sublime machinery. This is so weird. Oh my god, I get to drive around. Whee! That is a brick wall. Oh my god, it does the 3-point turn for us. Incredible. Yeah, there's distillation. What the hell? And Conway's like already like a fifth of the way there. Feel that draft of warmth like a summer breeze? This is the aging warehouse. How many casks have you got aging in there? I couldn't say exactly. Take a look at the inventory report later if you like. Funny though. Of course, we only have half our aging stock in here at any given time. Most distilleries let their whiskeys sit in casks through the cycle of seasons. In summer, the wood expands and the whiskey seeps in, picking up flavor. In winter, the wood contracts and squeezes the whiskey out. Down here, there are no seasons. Each workday proceeds from the last in an unbroken chain of climate control. So we make our own seasons. Each cask alternates in a weekly cycle between the cold ground upstairs and this heated warehouse. I mean, the world building and such is very well done, but I'm still so unbelievably confused. Computers. Please, don't touch a thing. Very sensitive devices. We're not even allowed to run the formula through them. What do they do? Temperature, pressures, wear and tear, acidity, supply levels, any and all attending numbers in need of crunching, and so on. Am I boring you yet? Are you simply dying of boredom? I myself could discuss this matter past sunrise. We're trying to fix this old computer in the caves. Of course I'm boring you. Let's move on. More of these old computers. Looks like about the same vintage as that stuff in the cave. Oh, what's the little screen for? Oh wow, good eye. This is an XY monitor. They use them for oscilloscopes in arcade games. Or they used to anyway. It's rare stuff. Hey, is this like antiquing with Lysette for you? I probably sound kind of ridiculous waxing on about vacuum tubes and oscilloscopes. It's good to have a passion. Yeah, I guess it is. Someday you'll have to tell me what yours is. I'm a skeleton, and I have like little frames of an echo running behind me wherever I go, and it's really cool. So I guess these are like before and after? The new casks look like they could be used for anything. Yeah, before they get all warped and stained, you really can't undo that, can you? No way to clean them after the aging process. I mean, it's a one-way street. Oh my god, those are caskets. I thought they were talking about whiskey. Are they talking about, like, people? Like, are they pickling people, and then their skeleton spirits come out and work at the distillery? Then, like, they take all the, like, the juice from the pickling and malting, bottling. You know what? I have a slight feeling as to what's going on here. I don't think I want to really know. This is... Oh, this is the lumber yard where they burn the caskets, ensuring that... Oh, I don't know enough about whiskey making, but I do know that they have to kind of smoke / burn the inside of the caskets, or the casks, the cases, the barrels. For some reason or another, I'm not sure whether it's for flavor or utility of trying to keep the all the whiskey inside. All right, we're in shipping. Here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run. Precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. I've been driving all my life, for better or worse. I suppose that's all you must say. I like that. Never say more than you must. It's boastful and ugly. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company and slow to anger, but if we're speaking confidentially, well, all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. Oh, my God, they mentioned that in the previous chapter. It's all coming together. It's all a connected world. Let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 1020 on that load, come back. Radio voice number 1. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 1012, City Kitty. Doolittle, into radio. This is a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again. Introduce yourself. Hello? Tell us to dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. You folks know, 99 wheel holder, gotta pay the water bill. So, I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Headlights work fine, see, do little fiddles with the control. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight, and dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. Magic hour, eh? Magic hour, sure. The angle of the sun at dusk and dawn means that the light is mostly indirect reflections from the sky. Everything that looks like a movie, it's all a bit softer. Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. Did Conway get into an accident or something? Drivers sleep in the day then? Sure. Those that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd helped me, you know, sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft lights. He turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. Empties rattled under the passenger seat. He kept them over there so the smell wouldn't spread. The window was always open a crack. Had to pull over. He just needed a nap, even if he ran late. He was only human. He'd been out since the headlights were on. Didn't even stop for coffee. He cracked a beer at 3, eyes on the road, 4:30 he dodged some stray cattle. The headlights were coming back on. Rockford could wait. Early morning couldn't be much worse than late night. What could they care? He just needed a few hours. So, moving on. Let's check the tires. Oh, sure. I know you'll want to look. Kick the tires, that's a thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road, we're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't that the way, eh? Tires look fine. Oh, I'm sure. It wasn't the tires that failed our dear Miguel. You're quite sure. Conway sat in a dim room full of folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from the book. He drank coffee, as it is. He listened. The speaker listed all the things we tried that most people in the room, were probably there by court order. A few others shared. They spoke in abstractions like a program of action. A good, orderly direction. Spiritual, but not religious. Religious, but not spiritual. All the things we tried. Then it was over. They clasped sweaty hands through short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. He started walking. He was always walking these days. It was good to slow down. It felt clarifying, like a walking meditation. Road ran by a creek for a while. He took an unforeseen detour where the creek and road parted, following the edge of the water. He skipped a few stones alone, and stopped to consider an overturned boat. This kind of serenity, that wandering and looking without purpose. He was coming to rely on those moments. Now, what else can we show you? The back. Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good strong folk in shipping here, so you'll never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. Some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. I shouldn't really do any lifting these days. I see. Well, surely we could spare a dolly and carrying strap for your health and safety. Conway woke up on baled hay. Everything was too bright. His head hurt. Usual. Lisette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. She wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was an important job. They couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lisette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along and Conway drifted out again, and he didn't hear about the accident until months later. So Charlie got seriously hurt and or died because Conway was too drunk to work. Because he was an alcoholic. I think I'm getting that much. So, Doolittle. Control the wipers with this knob here. Doolittle fiddles with the controls. They seem to have decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm, but we'd never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. You folks watch the weather closely? I wouldn't know if I'd know it if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. I mentioned I rarely, if ever, leave our facility. I wouldn't know the rain if it drowned me. They ditched class for the day to drive in the rain. It was pointless to stay. All review. It was a lost cause, and she didn't need it anyway. She was smart, bored, and it was time to cut it out. Shitty day for it, though. 83 and biblical flood. They went to a bar. They pulled into a dive bar, and an afternoon epic open mic. It smelled like rosewater. They smoked cigarettes, drank awful hooch, whistled buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted once to have brown hair curled around her ear. She had a voice like Scotch whiskey. It was time to go. Stiff drinks were wearing on him. He felt a surge of dejection. He knew she'd keep singing. He thought she would sing for someone who deserved to hear it. He knew she'd find a ride, so he slipped out alone. He sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, Barrow. Seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car adrift into a decision. Years later, he'd think of this as the moment he himself started drifting. Modest technology, but suited for the job, eh? Plenty good enough. The truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. Ah, there's the dispatch. Now, tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them that you'll start in the morning. Truck looks good. We've been over every inch of it, dispatch. Like it just came out of the assembly line. 1033 dispatch. Got 2 black eyes and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. 10-4. Back it down and prick your eyelids, driver. I hope this is slang. Come back, Lem. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder. 10-4. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal, eh? And I've got one more thing to show you. This definitely did not... Like, this trip down here took much longer than looking for frogs up on the surface. Alright, nice and parked horribly. Damn. Too little. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold, it's drawn to whiskey. Feeds on ethanol fumes, you see? As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air, and the angels share. It goes through the vents and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angel's share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on that stuff, so we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid. Truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. Since we stopped going down there, I'm sure that mold's gotten pretty thick. Try cleaning off the timing crystal. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs? If you don't mind. Ah, yes, they took off the hard hats. Head to the adding machine. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do quite well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't... It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is top shelf stuff? Now, this is top shelf stuff now. Single barrel. He doesn't... Down the hatch. Vina memore mors. It's not giving me the option. It just made me click. I wasn't... Okay. Decent enough. Welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this... He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working. Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this, I'm disappointed. I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, there's the matter of this tour just now. My time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep. By my back of the envelope estimations, well, we have that in common, I suppose, all of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs, of course. The interest begins compounding immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Wow, this sounds like an absolute hellscape, and interest is terrible. And that's capitalism for you, huh? So I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Oh, there it is. Well, there's the ferry. Is that a mammoth? End of Act 3. Well, it's... God, I have to end things here. It feels like my brain is mush. But it's like... It's kind of weird how, like, everything just ties in together. Like, you get a little more information and you learn a little more about the world, but it's all just still so obscure and weird. And I have no idea how to deal with it. But yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We will continue with this on Thursday, I believe. But I hope you all have a fantastic night. Sending all the love. Peace out.